Hey everyone, and welcome back. I want to talk to you today about something that for many of us is a nightmare scenario: the phone call, the email, the unexpected meeting, the one that starts with, "We've had to make some difficult decisions." I know that feeling, and I've seen it up close through my clients. I want to tell you a story about a client of mine named Jack. He got that call. He was laid off from a job he thought was his future, a job he'd poured years of his life into. And for a moment, he felt like the floor had just dropped out from under him. All his plans, all his hard work, seemed to be for nothing. But here's the thing, that moment, that terrifying, gut-wrenching moment, was not the end of Jack's story. It was the beginning. It was the match that lit a fire under him. It was the force that pushed him to do something he'd always dreamed of, but never had the courage to pursue. I want to share Jack's journey with you today, not as a brag, but as a roadmap that shows you how to turn one of the most painful experiences of your professional life into the most liberating. I'm going to tell you how Jack turned his layoff into a thriving business, and more importantly, how you can do the same. This isn't just about money, it's about freedom. It's about reclaiming your power. It's about building a life on your own terms. So if you're in that place of fear or uncertainty, stay with me. This is for you. Before we get to the business part, we have to talk about the beginning, the layoff. Because you can't build something new on a foundation of unacknowledged pain. I remember my first call with Jack after it happened. His voice was a blur. The words were sterile, corporate speak. But the message was clear. He was out. He told me he just sat in his car. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to feel. All he could think about was his family. How was he going to tell them? How were they going to pay the bills? The shame was overwhelming. It felt like he had failed, like he wasn't good enough. Have you ever felt that? That feeling of utter worthlessness, that somehow your value as a person is tied to your job title or your salary. It's a heavy, crushing weight. It can make you want to just give up, to pull the covers over your head and pretend the world doesn't exist. Jack's first day of unemployment was a disaster. He woke up at his usual time, but he had nowhere to go. He just sat on the couch, staring at the television. He felt this intense pressure to be productive, to start applying for jobs immediately. But the truth is, he was grieving. He was grieving the loss of his routine, the loss of his identity, the loss of the future he had envisioned for his family. And here's the first, most important piece of advice I can give you. The same advice I gave to Jack. You have to let yourself grieve. You have to let yourself be angry. You have to let yourself be sad. Don't rush through it. Don't try to be a superhero right away. Because if you don't process that pain, it will follow you. It will haunt you. It will be the doubt that whispers in your ear every time you try to build something new. For Jack, it took about a week of sleeping in, of watching old movies, of just letting himself be. His wife was his rock. She didn't try to fix him. She just held his hand and said, "It's okay to be sad. We'll figure this out together." She reminded him that his value wasn't determined by a paycheck, but by who he was as a person. I want you to hear that too. Your value is not your job. Your layoff is not a reflection of your worth. It is a moment of change. A painful one, yes, but change, and change, no matter how scary, always holds the possibility of something better. After a week of wallowing, and honestly, it was a necessary wallow, Jack started to see a small crack of light. He looked at their savings account, and he saw that they had enough to last them a few months. It wasn't a fortune, but it was a buffer, a little bit of breathing room, and we started to talk. What was he good at? What did he genuinely enjoy? In his old job, he was the go-to person for fixing things, not just technical problems, but processes. He loved taking a chaotic system and making it efficient. He loved helping his colleagues solve their challenges. He was the person everyone came to for a second opinion or a creative solution. He also had a passion outside of work, building and fixing things. He loved working with his hands. He'd spent weekends building custom furniture for their home and for friends. It was a hobby, a side thing, never a career. And then, one morning, it just clicked. He realized that the thing he loved to do for free, the thing that gave him a sense of purpose and joy, could actually be a business. He could combine his love for building and his skill for problem solving. He could help people create the perfect custom pieces for their homes, pieces they couldn't find in a big box store. This is the second crucial step, the one Jack took. Look for the clues in your own life. Your layoff might be forcing you to ask a question you've been avoiding your whole life. What would you do if money wasn't the biggest obstacle? What work feels so much like play that you would do it for free? Think about it. What do people always come to you for advice about? Is it cooking? Is it organizing? Is it fitness? Is it writing? Is it art? Is it something completely different? Your passion is not a frivolous distraction. It is a signpost. It is pointing you toward your true calling. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to really think about it. What if the job you lost was a closed door so that a window could open? A window to a life you were always meant to live. It might not seem like it now, but what if this is the universe giving you the push you needed? Don't let fear make you miss the opportunity hiding in the disaster. Once Jack had the idea, the real work began. He didn't just wake up and suddenly have a successful business. He was unemployed, remember? He had limited funds and a lot of fear. He had to be smart. He had to be resourceful. And this is the third pillar of this journey: be a strategic scavenger. Jack started small. He didn't quit applying for jobs. That was his safety net. But he dedicated a few hours every day to his new idea. He started by using the tools he already had in his garage. He used the leftover wood from his last few projects. He started by building small things for friends and family at cost, just to get his name out there and build a portfolio. He didn't spend a single dollar on advertising. Instead, he used social media. He took high-quality photos of his work and posted them on platforms like Instagram and Facebook. He created a simple website using a free builder. He asked his friends to share his posts. It was all about leveraging what he had for free. His first paying customer was a woman who wanted a custom bookshelf. It was a small job, maybe $250, but that first check felt like $1 million to Jack. It wasn't just money. It was validation. It was proof that his idea was not just a pipe dream. It was real. Think about what you have right now. Your skills, your network, your old equipment, even your social media followers. Don't discount any of it. Your greatest assets might be the things you take for granted. And here's a funny story Jack told me. His first workshop was in his tiny 2-car garage. It was a mess. Tools everywhere, sawdust in his hair. His wife would come out and just shake her head, laughing. One day, a potential customer came over to see a piece he was working on. His garage door was open, and he saw the chaotic mess. He laughed and said, "Now that's a true craftsman's workshop." He wasn't turned off by the mess. He was charmed by the authenticity. He saw a real person, not a fancy corporation. And that's the beauty of starting small. You can be authentic. You can connect with your customers on a human level. You can build a brand that is truly uniquely you. If you're getting value from this video and want to see more content like this, please hit the like button and smash the subscribe button. It means the world to me, and it really helps the channel grow. I'm on a mission to hit 100,000 subscribers, and with your support I know we can get there. Now that you've liked and subscribed, let's continue with our discussion. It wasn't all sunshine and sawdust for Jack. There were hard days, really hard days. Days when the phone didn't ring, days when he doubted himself completely, days when he was worried they were going to run out of money before he could make this work. He remembers one night, about 4 months in, he had just finished a huge project, and the customer was thrilled. He had a small profit, and it felt amazing. But that same night, he got a rejection email from a job he had interviewed for. It was a good job, a stable job, and for a moment he thought, why am I doing this? Why am I struggling when I could just go back to a steady paycheck? He sat on the edge of the bed, and he cried. His wife came and sat next to him. She didn't say anything. She just let him get it all out. And then when he was done, she said something that stuck with him. She said, "Do you remember how miserable you were in that old job? Do you remember coming home every day exhausted and uninspired? You may not be rich yet, but look at you. You're happy. You're building something that is yours, and that is a different kind of wealth." And she was right. Jack had to learn to redefine success. Success wasn't just about the size of his bank account. It was about waking up every day and feeling excited about the work he was doing. It was about the pride of seeing a finished piece and knowing that he, with his own two hands, had created it. It was about the freedom of setting his own hours, of being there for his kids when they needed him. This is the fourth and most personal pillar, the one Jack had to conquer. Manage your emotions, not just your money. There will be moments of doubt. There will be setbacks. There will be days when you feel like a failure, but you have to be kind to yourself. You have to remember your why. Why are you doing this? What kind of life are you trying to build? Hold on to that vision, especially on the hard days, because that vision is the fuel that will keep you going when everything else seems to be pushing you back. I'm going to ask you to do something right now. Just close your eyes for a second, and I want you to picture the life you want to build, the freedom you want to feel, the legacy you want to leave. Hold on to that image. Engrave it in your mind, because that is the real treasure you're working toward. Fast forward a few years. Jack's business is now thriving. He has a dedicated workshop, a growing team, and a steady stream of happy customers. They're not millionaires, but they're more financially secure than they ever were. More importantly, he's building something that he's proud of, something that feels true to him. But it all started with a layoff, a moment of pain and uncertainty that he chose to redefine. He chose to see it not as a setback, but as a setup for a comeback. So here's my final message to you. If you're in that place of fear right now, if you've just been laid off, or you see it coming, I want you to know that you are not alone. And I want you to know that this is not a dead end. It is a fork in the road, and you get to decide which path you take. You have a choice. You can let this setback define you, or you can let it propel you. You can let it break you, or you can use it as the fire that forges something new and incredible. And if you're sitting there thinking, "But I don't have the skills, I don't have the money, I don't have the time," I want you to stop. Don't let those excuses win. Every single successful person started somewhere. They started with an idea, a little bit of hustle, and a lot of heart. They didn't have all the answers, but they had the courage to try. And you, my friend, have that same courage. You have that same power. You just have to believe it. So get a notebook. Write down your skills, your passions, your why. Write down what you would do if you could do anything. And then just start. Start small. Take one small step today, and then another tomorrow, and then another the day after that. Don't worry about the destination. Just focus on the next step. Because a layoff isn't the end of your professional life. It's the beginning of your professional legacy. The legacy you get to build, brick by brick, with your own two hands, on your own terms. Thank you for letting me share Jack's story with you. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone you know who might be struggling. Because a little bit of hope can go a long way. Until next time, remember, your story is not over. It's just getting good.